Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege. Excuse me, with another day in the life and the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. What is good, guys? Happy Monday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I wanted to hop on here real quick and just talk a little bit about a couple of things. One is I watched a video the other day from Xrp Veteran, put it in the Telegram group. And guys, again, if you aren't part of that Telegram group, you definitely want to check it out, especially if you're an XRP holder. It is primarily for people who are who have a bag of XRP and are XRP holders. It is called Investment Perspectives. Great Telegram group. A lot of excellent information in there. So Xrp Veteran posted a video from Wall Street. I think it's called Modern Wall Street, I believe is the name of the YouTube channel. And it had four people on there, and I guess a moderator, if you will, the lady kind of doing the interviewing. And they were talking about gold, talking about some financial stuff, and one of the guys brought up Bitcoin. But here's the thing that I want to point out. There were four people there, and then the interviewer. And the four people, I don't know their names, although she said them in the beginning. But one was a big-time trader from a major company. The other one was a owner/manager of a hedge fund. The other one owned a gold company, a major gold company, right? So selling gold and silver. And then there was Jim Rickards, who is, a lot of you probably know, is really big time, kind of geopolitical background as an attorney, but major connections and networks, background working with the CIA, blah 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 blah, heavily sought out by presidential regimes, if you will, seeking his advice for different things. He has a big time major newsletter. He's connected with Agora Financial, like who isn't when it comes to newsletters. But so Jim Rickards as well. So if you guys listen to DNI, you know that the Digital Nomad Investor talks about at one time having a conversation with Jim Rickards about the SDR and the IMF, right? So they're talking gold and they're talking all these different things, gold. And one of the guys, and I believe it was the guy who was the hedge fund manager, owner manager, brought up Bitcoin. So what about Bitcoin? A lot of people, especially young people today, they're into the Bitcoin, and what do you think about that? And where is that going to do? Are we going to lose money from people from the gold, and you're going to transition over to Bitcoin? And someone said, maybe, and I think it was Rickards, Bitcoin is, it's not going to go anywhere. It'll be down to $200, and it has no use case. The only people who really using Bitcoin are criminals, for this, all kind of nefarious stuff. That's, that was kind of the, and the other three people just kind of nodded in agreement. The lady was one who admitted that, she prefers Bitcoin over gold, right? Because that's what the hedge funds manager had brought up. There are a lot of people out there, especially the young ones, who prefer Bitcoin over gold, and she raised her hand and said me. But the fact that I believe it was Jim Rickards said that Bitcoin and its use cases were really for criminal stuff, criminal activity, I thought was very interesting. That was the only thing that they saw in terms of a use case for Bitcoin. But so one of the guys, and I believe it was, as I look at the video, is the guy on the far left brought up Ripple. He brought up Ripple because the guy on the far right, who was the big time gold guy, was saying, Bitcoin's too slow or something like that, whatever. So the guy on the left said, well, what about Ripple? Ripple does things, and they got settlements, and their transaction, everything is done in 2 to 5 seconds. And he said, Ripple does this, and he said, Ripple does that. Now, and these guys are, Ripple does do that. Yeah, I agree, and right? And so I'm listening to these guys. These are, again, well-off, well-to-do these were all, listen, no insult here, but all gray-haired, right? Been around for a while, been in the financial world for a while, and every single one of them called it Ripple. I thought it was interesting that Jim Rickards never commented. He commented on Bitcoin, made zero comments on Ripple. And here's the thing, none of them called it XRP. That's my point to this whole video. None of them said XRP. None of them understood that it was XRP and not Ripple, the company. None of them knew that there was two different things. None of them knew. And XRP Veteran put it out because it was you got more yeses, nods, and agreement, favor, in agreement, nodding in approval of XRP. Bitcoin, zero nod favorably in agreement for. Like, none of them. None of them, right? And obviously they point out the obvious stuff: slow, expensive, it's not scalable. This is things that Jim Rickards said. So I thought it really interesting that Jim commented about Bitcoin, did not comment at all about XRP. And we're pretty confident that he knows about XRP because, he had that conversation with the digital nomad investor and the digital nomad investor about the SDRs. So I think it's about a 95% chance that he knows about XRP. Did not comment though. And if you watch that video, you can see how he kind of has his head down, not looking to be picked on to make a comment on XRP. I thought that was really interesting. But my point is, here's these really, really smart, well-versed in the financial world, whether it be trading, whether it be gold, whether it be hedge fund management, whether it be, geopolitical massive connections and intel, and from Jim Rickards' standpoint, never said XRP. I believe they don't even know that there's a difference between Ripple, the company, and XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. Jim Rickards, and I wish I was there because, man, I would have had a fun time talking to those guys. Jim Rickards mentioned something that I thought was very, very interesting, very poignant. He said, listen, debt. He said the world is built around debt. Debt is always going to be around. It's always going to be this thing. And I was just sitting there screaming from, Kava Labs and Cosmos. Like, they got all these nod and agreements. You think you're not in agreement for a quote-unquote Ripple. What about X-Ray and Kava Labs and what they're doing with Cosmos and a collateral debt position? Listen, they're all the arguments which allows XRP to not only be a great use case, but also puts them in a position for store of value. Because that was their big thing with gold. It's store of value. It's this, it's this thing that is always this financial thing to preserve wealth. But what about XRP and Kava Labs and this collateral debt position that they're doing with Kava and Cosmos? That's massive. These collateral debt positions. Like, they don't even know they don't even know all the things XRP is doing. They don't even know. Or at least they're not saying it. And Jim Rickards, I think he knows more than what he's leading on, but I'm pretty sure those, the gold guys and the hedge guys and the professional trader guy don't know all the things XRP. They know a little, but they don't know all. And here's the thing, you do. So think about where you sit as an XRP holder. And hopefully you're not just a holder. Hopefully you've been around, you've been leveling up your XRP IQ. Hopefully, so that you know and understand what you hold, which is in fact the greatest digital asset ever created. But you got to know that, especially through these, this long bear market price thing. You have to know that. And if you do know, if you have leveled up your XRP IQ, think about how far ahead you are of a guy who owns a gold and silver company, of a guy who runs and or owns a hedge fund company, and a just big time trader. And I think the big time trader was the guy who knew the most about XRP. But obviously he doesn't know what we know because he was calling it Ripple. So think about where you sit as an XRP holder. It is massive. It is massive. And the fact that, Jim Rickards made this little comment about, this SDR and this thing that Russia and China can do. You got to check out the video and what they're going to probably do, because to kind of get away from the dollar and some options that they have. And it's going to be an SDR. He called it, a different kind of coin. They're going to have their own coin. It's going to be backed by gold, blah, 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 blah. Right? So he's pretty certain that the IMF in some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to have this SDR, and it's going to be an ESDR, all of that stuff. But all of that points to the greatest digital asset ever created, and that's XRP. XRP is it's the bedrock it is the framework, it is the foundation. All things will run through XRP for the new financial system, without question. And here's the thing: I saw something earlier this morning, before I hopped in the car, about some new Silk Road incident that happened with Silk Road, and the title of it was, "Is the Silk Road incident gonna tarnish further, cryptocurrencies, digital assets, right?" And I'm thinking to myself, I heard nothing at all about any kind of thing going on with Silk Road, and now all of a sudden here's this article about Silk Road. So now after this whole Facebook Libra thing, and this whole Donald Trump tweeting thing, and this whole Steve Mnuchin thing coming out, now there's a Silk Road thing. And if anyone thinks that is a coincidence, sadly mistaken, my friends. That's all planned. Yes, look, it's all planned. I think even the fact that the announcement of Libra, certainly the powers that be knew about that announcement, knew that it was coming, knew what that was going to be about. This is all planned, in my opinion. They're going to sell the media, the mass media, the masses, on all things that are nefarious with Bitcoin, especially, and right, and how XRP is this thing that from day one has been working with the regulators. In fact, in that video that I'm mentioning, that I'm talking about, the guy said he said Ripple has been working with the regulator from day one. That guy said that. Again, XRP veteran. The reason why he posted that video in the Telegram group was to point out how they were all in favor. They were more in favor of XRP, nodding their head in agreement for XRP. They kept saying Ripple, but for XRP. And Bitcoin was nope. So it is very, very obvious that XRP is the chosen one. Is the chosen one. Very, very obvious. And so whatever way that it's going to be used, the masses will know. The masses will know. And the reason, I keep hearing a lot of people, it's funny, I keep hearing a lot of people, wanting to know. First it was, they never mention XRP. They never say XRP. They never, why XRP is never mentioned. Then it went from, why is XRP never being mentioned? Why don't they talk about XRP? Because it's simple. The second that someone of influence mentions XRP, the IMF, Mark Carney, Christine Lagarde, President Donald Trump, Steve Mnuchin, as soon as it's mentioned, what do you think is going to happen to the price of XRP? Right? It's going to go bananas. And they know it. They're not going to play their hands until they're ready. They're not going to show their hand until they're ready. That's the reason why. That is even when now the CMB is kind of showing XRP, in the top 3 when they do the little ticker thing, when they, that little crap that they do, and they show it. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. Because they know what's going to happen when they mention it. You and I have to know and have to be patient and be prepared for when they do say it. So anything with SBI, I just wanted to point out that video. Hopefully you guys get a chance to check it out. XRP Veteran, thank you for turning me on to that and giving me access to the full version of it. On the investment perspective, it's just a 6-minute version when they begin to talk XRP. But it's actually like a 32-minute video, and I checked out the full version. If you can find it on the YouTube channel is called Modern Wall Street. But very, very interesting. Love the XRP community. It's just so informed. It is without question the most well-informed community in all of the digital asset space. So again, I thought that was really, really interesting. I had another point that I'm trying to remember what I wanted to what was it? I wanted to bring it. It'll come to me. But just understand that you hold the greatest digital asset ever created. That Silk Road announcement that came out in the news media today. Yeah, no accident. XRP is in the bedrock, is in the framework, it is in the foundation of the new global financial system. And interestingly enough, when you look at, they talk about the banks, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about. They talk about the banks that are on the Ripple network, right? To at least 250, right? They talk about them. But no one ever thinks, like why? Why are they kind of where they are? They're all over. These banks, quote unquote, they're positioned all over the world. It's not just emerging markets. Found out yesterday mentioned one bank from Russia, right? You ever think like, why is it that they're doing it that way? Like all over the world. And they kind of hint towards it's kind of an emerging markets thing, but it's not. All over the world. And I just got to thinking that, me personally, I got this whole UK thing that I really believe is going to happen. I don't understand the Brexit thing to intelligently articulate on it. If you guys know about the Brexit thing, please comment in the comments, let me know. But what the whole thing with the UK wanting to leave, what is that about? And if they leave, where are they going? You know what I mean? If they turn in their membership card, where are they going? Are they joining something else? I just think it's interesting that the UK wants to leave, right? They're going to leave, and will they be able to make their own decisions now without having to get, some kind of, part of some group of people who have to kind of vote on what they do? I'm wondering, what is the point behind UK wanting to leave? What's the point? What's that whole thing with Brexit? What's the point behind that? I'm trying to understand that. But what if it is so that they can kind of make their own rules? What if it is so they can kind of, kind of get their own, start a new kind of financial system for themselves? What if that was what it was about? I just get this sneaky, I don't know, but I get this kind of thing that's telling me, that the UK wants to get their own currency. And that it could be XRP. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know. It just seems odd to me what they're doing. But here's the thing that I was thinking as well. These banks that XRP has all over the world. What if those were hubs? What if those were hubs, if you will, for the initial entry of a currency to the country? Like hubs, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if it would be a POS, but you understand what I'm saying? What if the place in Russia, the bank in Russia, now has XRP and can use it as a means of exchange for the people in that part of Russia? I just think it's interesting. I mean, I'm just totally speculating here. I just think it's interesting that these banks are all over the world. what if the plan was, for XRP to be this currency in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and these banks are kind of like the hubs to distribute, if you will, the XRP. But anyway, that was just kind of me, just kind of thinking way, 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 way out there. But here's the thing that I definitely do know: these banks are positioned all over the world for a reason, like all over the world. All over the world. I watched SPQR Media, and that video was titled Ripple World. And when I just watching and listening to Lee and I forget the other guy talking, and man, there's a major reason for that. Major reason. Then they went into the Bank of England and all the stuff going on with the Bank of England and who was there and who wasn't there, and Mark Carney and the ties, and it just all points to XRP. And to me, it points to an even bigger picture of what they're going to ultimately do with XRP. I just really, really believe that. Really, really believe that. It's an exciting time, guys. Exciting times for sure. And so, I think I'm gonna get on some other videos, hop on here, and perhaps hop on here later on today after I check out a few things. Watch Crypto Eddie this morning. Nothing kind of going on with SBI VC trade. Nothing yet. So we'll see what happens. She's thinking that, it's kind of like the Monday thing. They don't make announcements on Mondays. They usually do it Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So we'll see. I'd heard, BACK is supposed to kind of start their testing. That's going to be massive. That's going to be billions of dollars eventually getting into the digital asset space. So that's great for us, for those of us who have been early adopters in this space. So that is absolutely exciting. And I think September is when they're going to kind of go quote unquote live. So right now the big money has access to the platform on BACK, but then it'll be more to traditional people in September, from what I understand. But again, in either case, and I think that's strategic as well, for them to be kind of fully live in September. Is generally the fall is when the bull runs start for the digital asset space. So I think that's strategic as well. They know, they got the data. The people from BACK have the data and know that these bull runs typically start in that September, range. So that, that's a strategic thing as well. So it's just exciting, absolutely 100% exciting time, especially, guys, if you're an XRP holder. So if you can get a hold of that video, definitely check it out. It is 100% worth the listen. Modern Wall Street on YouTube, or again, guys, if you haven't, definitely join an investment perspective Telegram group, and see if you can find that video post from XRP Veteran. Awesome XRP community member for sure. So guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up and tell you that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is your chance to win. This is your chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in history, man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.